Welcome to the Weather Guru's current analysis of the severe weather outbreak. There's going to be a multi-day severe weather outbreak according to the Storm Prediction Center (SPC). We have ongoing tornado warnings and ongoing warnings going on here. First, we're going to start off with the aggregate approach here, looking at the convective outlook for day one here. And as you can see, the bullseye is right in Texas. Anywhere from the red shading here is providing a significant damage, significant chance, a 15% chance of significant tornadoes or hail coming from anywhere from College Station, Texas, Bryan, Texas, Palestine, Texas. Giving you a brief overview before we get into more details here. And the lightly shaded black area surrounded that, there is a 10% chance with a chance of seeing 2 or 3 inch greater hail is increased anywhere east of Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex, down through 45 through Huntsville, Texas, College Station, Texas, once again, Austin, Fort Worth, Arlington, the Metroplex, down through Shreveport later on tonight, Beaumont, east out here through Port Arthur, Beaumont, Lake Charles. These areas will be affected down through closer to San Antonio as well. Those areas, Shreveport, Beaumont, Wichita Falls, Texas, Baytown, Texas. So this area here is going to significant risk for tornadoes. And the Weather Channel is giving this area a Torcon of 7 out of 10. So this is definitely an area to watch here, according to the Storm Prediction Center. And we have seen a bunch of tornado warnings, which I'm going to get to in a moment here, as we continue on our program. So we're going to look here. We're going to go to the tornado warnings here. If I just switch here to a moment here, as you can see, radar scope is showing us the tornado warnings. We have tornado warnings in Oklahoma. We're going to go to tornado warnings here, the active tornado warnings here. This is just across the Red River Valley here. And you can see the tornado, there's active tornado vortex signature just across the border here at Texoma and just east of Ardmore. Ardmore here. This is a tornado vortex signature. Inbound winds are coming in at 63 knots, outbound winds 87 knots here, and you can see we can put this into motion here. This cell is moving east of Madill, Oklahoma, an infamous town. This tornado warning is in effect for expires in 32 minutes, and it's in effect for 7:15 Central Daylight Time. Anybody in southeastern Johnston, northwestern Bryan, and northwestern Marshall counties, a confirmed tornado is located near Little City. It's moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. Damaging winds is the main threat. So if you're in these locations, Milborn, Fillmore, Little City, northeastern Lake Tasoma, a tornado warning is in effect. This cell is moving rapidly here. We put the storm tracker on it here. It's moving rapidly to the northeast at 69 knots. And this is a tornado warning once again for the Johnson, Bryan, and Marshall counties, Marshall, Oklahoma. This is from northwestern Bryan, northeastern Marshall counties. A tornado is confirmed on the ground heading east of Madill, Oklahoma. So if you're in Bromide, if you're in Silo, Oklahoma, Meade, Oklahoma, heading up towards these regions here, we'll show you a wider view of this here. You see the cell. There is another cell that is producing rain, but then we have a confirmed tornado here on this cell right here in the tornado warned area just east of Madill, Oklahoma. So that's our first warning. We have a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings that we're going to come back to. However, we have tornado warnings in Texas right now. There's a tornado on the ground here. Once again, we're going to go tornado warnings here. This is east of Killeen, Texas. If you're in Salito, Texas, hail is reported there with this cell, but there's a tornado warning that is allowed to expire. So that's in Central Bell County, but we have other tornado warnings here in 7:15 Central Daylight Time for Milam and southeastern Bell counties. It's located near Holland. This one here is a history of producing tornado and $half size hail, but this is a radar indicated rotation here. We're going to turn on the, we're going to go to the correlation coefficient here and see if we can get anything here, what we got here on here. We'll see what the rotational level is here. We're going to switch here to the radar and we're going to show you more of an in-depth view. As you can see here, this is the dry line back here. We do have the tornado warning, and right in here is the tornado vortex signature coming off here on the radar here. This is just to the east of Georgetown, Texas, and northeast of Round Rock, Texas. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground. We have a tornado coupling here just to the southeast of Weir, Texas. If you're in those areas, seek shelter immediately here. We're going to switch back to the radar and show you those areas here. Once again, if you're in Georgetown, Granger, Bartlett, we have a tornado moving, a tornado vortex signature, radar indicated tornado that is moving with rotation. Confirmed tornado was last seen near Tyler, Texas, moving Taylor, Texas, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. So these are quick spin up tornadoes that are moving here. These areas are impacted down here: Pflugerville, Round Rock, Manor, Texas, Elgin, Texas. There's another tornado warning here in effect for 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time for east central Travis, north central Bastrop, and northwestern Lee counties. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Elgin, moving over 35 miles an hour, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. So once again, if you're in Elgin, if you're over Elgin, Texas, once again, this area right here, let's draw the area right here, this area here, there is a large tornado on the ground moving toward Elgin, into this area here, moving northeast, Copeland, Thorndale. If you're in those areas, Lexington, there is an extremely large tornado on the ground right now in Elgin, Texas. Particularly dangerous situation, you want to take cover. Once again, this is a radar confirmed tornado. Elgin, Manor, Copeland, Blue, McDade, Butler, Cedar Hills, Texas. This is just to the east of Austin, Texas, about maybe an hour or so east of Austin, Texas. This is in Elgin, Texas out here. There is a confirmed tornado on the ground here, and within this tornado warning, which expires in about 15 minutes. Okay, so there's a tornado on the ground at 6:38 Central Daylight Time. Tornado located over Elgin, Texas, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. Please take shelter in the lowest level of your room, of your house. And there is another cell here that's rotating very strongly here around Hornsby Bend, Weberville, and Garlic. You can see it. Actually, you can see a hook signature here, a hook echo signature here on the radar, anywhere between Hornsby Bend, Garfield, just to the southeast of Austin, Texas. So anybody in Hornsby Bend, Garfield, Weber, there is a strong rotational signature on the radar here, and that's associated with this tornado moving into Elgin, McDade, and other areas in the county here. This tornado warning is still going on. It has 11 to 12 minutes remaining in it. So anybody take cover if you're in Elgin, Texas, Bastrop, Lee, Hornsby Bend, Weberville, Garfield, to the southeast of Austin. Please take cover. We're going to zoom back out here. As you can see these cells, there is another tornado warning down here in Bastrop. To the south, another tornado warning in Bastrop, southeastern Bastrop, and west central Fayette counties here. There is a severe thunderstorm producing tornadoes in that area too as well. Take cover now. There will be, these storms are rotating here, and these all part of associated with this cell here behind the dry line, which is just to the west of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area here. These storms are firing up along here, along this boundary here, and we have that warm, moist area in this warm sector here, and this is where we're experiencing some strong winds. A lot of reports here, guys, as you can see here, a lot of reports of hail, rain, strong rain, wind. Winds were gusting to 45 miles an hour in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex last time I checked. And we have this strong line now just coming through the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in Arlington right now that's producing a lot of heavy rain. There is a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for those areas. In Grandview, Texas, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-inch hail. So this looks like more like straight-line winds, anywhere from Fort Worth, Arlington, down through Burlington, Cleburne, Rio Vista. But some of these along these lines are allowed to rotate here, and some of these are rotating and creating some damages. We have 1-inch size hail for this severe thunderstorm down 35 West, down toward Clifton, Valley Mills, Gatesville, Texas. Down toward Waco and Temple, Texas, and Killeen, we have tornado warnings. Once again, the tornado warning is longer here. This one doesn't expire to about 41 minutes now. For central, southeastern McLennan County, northeastern Bell County, northwestern Falls County. That's a tornado warning for you. A tornado was located near Temple. Radar indicated tornado was located near Temple, Texas, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. Take cover now. This storm is moving towards Troy, Bryceville, Lorena, Robinson, and Beverly Hills. So this includes the area between Interstate 35, between mile markers 294 and 333. This storm right here is what we need to take cover. So if you're in Temple, Texas, Rogers, Holland, Bartlett, Granger, those people heading out towards Chilton, southeast of Waco, Reagan, Thornton, Gooseback. These storms are heading your way. Pendleton, these storms are heading your way. They have history of rotation. They're producing 1-inch hail now just to the east of Killeen, Texas, Cleburne, Texas, Toledo. These areas are producing areas of showers and heavy rain and tornadoes. So we have this whole line, this whole complex that will continue. Remember, this area here got an area of between Dallas-Fort Worth, Waco, and Austin. They got an area of a 7 on the tornado scale. And you can see already, we've already had reports of 3 to 4 tornadoes that have produced tornadoes here in this area. So if you're in that area, take cover. This is all part of a broader system that's going to produce a multi-day event. Once again, to zoom out here, we're going to have storms powering up in Shreveport, down toward Beaumont, coming up north of Houston, all in that area as well. These storms will continue to come and to make an impact here. So if you're in these areas, please take shelter. Once again, we have another tornado warning for back in Oklahoma. We have the tornado warning that expires in 24 minutes. Once again, I don't want to forget you people in the Red River Valley and Bastrop and Fayette counties up here in in Oklahoma. We just have a new tornado warning issued here in Allen, Plano. A tornado warning remains in effect until about 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This is for southeastern Denton and Collin counties. This is producing strong straight line winds of 45 miles an hour, and it's radar indicated rotation. Sometimes these storms can spin up along this squall line here very, very strongly. So if you're in McKinney, Louisville, Allen, Plano, Parker, Lucas, take shelter now. Storms are spinning up very, very strongly in that area too as well. Now back in the back in Oklahoma, we have this cell here just to the north of Ardmore and Medill, just to the northeast of Medill. This storm here has produced a tornado on the ground, and it is on the ground. And this is producing tornado and quarter-size hail. So you want to take cover if you're in Milburn, Fillmore, and northeastern Lake Texoma. This storm here has been history. It looks like it's starting to weaken a little bit here as it heads towards Milburn, Oklahoma. And you put it on the storm track here, and you can see it's moving up towards Colgate, Stonewall. So that storm now has started to weaken a little bit. Seems more of the dry air coming through as it lost pea-sized hail through Medill and other areas here. So that storm is weakening, but we do have this complex, this whole line here that's producing showers, thunderstorms, and gusty winds, more of a straight line wind event here, kind of a bow echoing here as we can see here now from just east of Ardmore through Durant and through Sherman here. We have this bow echo you see, but the line is weakening here in that tornado signature. This tornado warning expires in 23 minutes, and so they may let it, the National Weather Service may let it expire here as this cell here as it's starting to begin to weaken as it heads through Tishomingo and up towards Atoka. But Atoka, don't let your guard down. There could be strong straight line winds as this system comes through, and it's kind of a bow echo right here. So that's something that the strong winds are fanning out through this outflow boundary here. And so be careful if you're in Atoka, Oklahoma, Antlers, Oklahoma. Watch out in the next 35 minutes here. Calera is getting it now, Durant, Oklahoma, as that cell continues to move through your area. Now further down south through McKinney and Dallas, like I said, we just had that tornado warning to the north here. It's going to expire in 7 minutes. It's producing strong straight line winds and radar indicated rotation. This is for southeastern, Denton counties and southwestern Collin counties, right here in Allen, Plano, the colonies along up north, just north of 635. Around here. So if you're in Frisco, take cover. If you're in Allen, the colonies, McKinney, heading toward McKinney, please take cover. There's going to be strong straight line winds, if not some rotation in these cells. They're already reporting heavy rain and hail. Hail is about a half inch now, $1.20, half and quarter inch, 1.25 inches hail, if anything. So it seems like to be the squall line here is producing some strong winds. Heavy rain is associated through Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, Cedar Hill, down toward Cleburne. So we have those here, but we still have these other tornado warnings down to the south here that I want to get to here. We have tornado warnings in effect from south of Waco. This one expires in 36 minutes here, ladies and gentlemen, for southeastern McLennan County, northeastern Bell County, northwestern Falls County. And a lot of these tornadoes, mind you, are going to be rain wrapped, and that's the dangerous kind here. We still have daylight, but they're wrapped in rain here. So if you're in Pendleton, Texas, heading toward Golinda, Texas, up through Waco, as this I-35 here corridor is getting hit hard. Some of these storms are producing tornadoes, but they're rain wrapped. Like again, you can see there was a very hook echo signature in the ones in Oklahoma, but here you just have a scattered, more of a rotational blob here, if you will. But there are tornado rain warning signatures here, also into northwestern Milam and southeastern Bell counties into 7:15. So we have about 30 minutes on that as well. Radar indicated rotation. We do have hail coming out of these cells. They're about 1.5 inches, almost a quarter, 2 inches, almost up to 2 inches hail coming out of these storms. Along just south of Waco, Killeen, east of Killeen, Bruceville, Timberton, down there, that area. Now, Round Rock, Texas, you are experiencing hail once again, but these are only quarter inch hail through Austin. And you can see the dry line is quickly developing here, quickly coming back through Austin now. So these storms are moving very fast at 50 miles an hour. Bastrop, this is down here in Texas, to the southeast of Austin here, you have a tornado warning in effect. This tornado warning is in effect for about this cell is moving rapidly at 49 miles an hour. This tornado is going to expire in 5 minutes, but they have most of these indicating a $0.5 to 1 inch to 2 inch hail. So anybody on the I-35, I-45 corridor through Huntsville, Texas, College Station, Waco, Killeen, Austin, all these areas need to be prepared as we zoom out of here. But Texas is the bullseye for most of these storms that are moving in here. To give you the wider picture once again, we do have these warnings that are expiring. We have two that are expiring in 5 minutes. The ones for Bastrop County, Lee County in Texas, Williamson County, and also the one in Fayette County are expiring in the next 5 minutes. So these storms are quickly, and once again, these tornadoes that these storm chasers are following are rain wrapped, and so they can spin up quickly and they can die just as quickly. We do not know the strength, but there have been two or three reported tornadoes already touched down and have caused damage in terms of power lines and things of that nature. Now, there is another tornado warning here that we want to follow up here just to the northeast of Madill. This one in Oklahoma was very strong, and now it's a bow echo as these winds, we're getting more of a straight line winds effect here. This tornado warning lasts here in Norman, Oklahoma issued it for tornado and large quarter-sized hail. This is moving to the northeast here through Tishomingo up towards Atoka. So if you're in Atoka, Caney, Colgate, Stringtown, those counties up there, you want to be on the lookout for this, as this is at the top of the bow echo. As you can see, rotational evidence is there. Tornado vortex signature is radar indicated there. And if we go to the let's go to the other view here, the correlation coefficient here. I want to show you the rotation here. You can see that they are touching here. There's a coupling here just to the east of Tishomingo here, heading toward Wanaka and Atoka. So, and there's a little bit of dry air coming in here, a little bit of a gap of dry air coming in. So this is more of a straight line wind event here, but there can be some rotational spin ups, as I showed you here on the radar here, through Tishomingo, Madill, up through Wanataka and Colgate. So if you're in those areas, please take cover now. The radar is indicating rotation, and it is indicating a coupling on the rotation here. As we switch back to our radar here, guys, we switch back to the radar. Once again, you can see this area here from Tishomingo, Wanapaka, through Atoka and Colgate as it moves through in the next couple of hours. The cell is moving northeast at 39 knots, a very fast cell right here. Tornado 1 is gonna expire in 18 minutes here. So I just want to give you an update on that as we go back to the super res Doppler radar here once again. And we're going to see this multi-day severe threat here last for quite some time here. So if you're in any of these areas east of Ardmore, once again, heading toward Tishomingo and Atoka, Oklahoma, there's a cell that's moving with long, damaging straight line winds, and it has produced a tornado, but the tornado warning is expiring in about 15 minutes for that cell. And most of these cells, these lines look to be weakening here as this straight line comes in too. But as you can see, there's plenty of moisture feeding into the system. Southeast winds aloft, south-southwest, south-southeast winds aloft. Plenty of turning motion going on here. And there's a 7 on the Torcon scale, according to the Weather Channel, and the National Weather Service has issued a particularly dangerous situation for those areas in the bullseye of Texas, just to the east of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, anywhere from Waco to College Station up through Beaumont, Texas. This is the sweet spot here, and toward the Arkansas Shreveport border over here. So this is going to be the focus area tonight, as that warm, moist air, that tropical air southward continues to surge ahead of the front, and we have that ahead of the dry line here behind it, and we're going to have that warm, moist air feeding into the warm sector. So this area, this is the bullseye where we're watching right here: Tyler, Texas, Nacogdoches, College Station, Beaumont, just to the north of Houston, up in Conroe. And then Shreveport later on tonight, in areas to the north of there, Shreveport, the areas of Monroe, Louisiana, and those areas there tomorrow. This is a multi-day severe weather threat here. Once again, we're going to show you what we got here on the particularly dangerous situation here. This is going to be the Storm Prediction Center. Once again, you can see, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that right there, Texas is the bullseye. That's a moderate threat, a 4 out of 5 risk here, anywhere from College Station, Texas, down to Beaumont, down through Austin and the Red Hills, Texas, Round Rock, San Antonio. And an enhanced risk extends all the way to the Louisiana border, Texarkana, Beaumont, down there at Port Arthur, and those areas slight risk. So as you can see, this is day 1 of the convective outlook here. Several tornadoes are possible, large hail, which we've seen up to 2 inches in a lot of places here that we've already seen here. And this is just day 1. Like I said, we can go to tomorrow's outlook. We will continue to see more of the same, but the area shifts tomorrow. We're looking at an extreme moderate 4 out of 5 threat anywhere along from Hammond, Louisiana, Slidell, even including New Orleans, as into Jackson, Mississippi, on through that area there. So and on up through Greenville, Mississippi, Tupelo, those areas in Mississippi, Green Springs, Holly Springs, those areas will experience a more a severe, moderate to enhanced threat, all the way to Mobile, Alabama, possibly an enhanced threat, and then slightly enhanced as you get closer to the areas of Birmingham and Montgomery, some of the outlying areas, Pensacola, and those areas like that. But tomorrow there's still enhanced risk, and that's day 2 of the outlook, which is Tuesday, and then even into day 3, Wednesday, we still have the. I'm sorry. Let's go to the next one. Sorry. And the day 3, day 4, it starts to calm down to a slight risk along the southeast coast, and that's the ending of our system. But the genesis of our system, as you can see, today and tomorrow, it's going to be extreme mesoscale discussions about this tornadic threat, this hail threat. Right now, we're looking at more of a hail threat. We had some tornadoes spin up, a brief tornado spin up in Oklahoma, and also northern Texas on the border of Texas and Oklahoma, just north of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. But there haven't been that many. There have been a lot of warnings, but it has been more of a straight line wind event and hail event so far through the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex from what our storm spotters have been showing us and seeing. Remember, a lot of these tornadoes are rain wrapped. And so that's one thing that we have to look at too as well. As we progress the model forward here, you can see that today we have the initial front coming in here. As you can see right now, I'll pause it here. Tomorrow we still have those strong storms coming through Louisiana, Arkansas, and through the Red River Valley here. But Texas is in the clear tomorrow, and then we begin to see more of a Louisiana focus. And then, like I said, that day 3 continues to experience, and the model continues to show us that we have strong storms in Mississippi, through the Tennessee River Valley here, through those days there. And then we continue to see in the southeast that it fizzles out, it loses strength around Thursday and Friday, and becomes mainly a rain event. But there's low pressure system here that's associated with all this rain and the warm weather. So it's going to become mostly a rain event on Thursday and Friday for the southeast. The mid-Atlantic is going to get in a little bit of rain action and a little bit of thunderstorm, nothing crazy. And then that's why they have the slight risk as the energy for the system, the pulsing energy, the wind shifts from the southwest, and the pulsing energy begins to die down towards the end of the week here on Friday. As you can see, the system moves out the coast, and that leaves us with in the clear again. But then next weekend, we have a little bit of a snow shower system up north. It quiets down, high pressure takes control again. And then next weekend, we have a little more showers and it quiets down. So this is really the close out the month of March. You know, it says it comes in like a lamb or a lion. This is really our break before our last system comes in next. This is next Wednesday, March 30th, to end the month of March. And this next system is a strong low pressure system that's going to move in and create some more chances for severe weather for the upper plains and also into the same area, but just north of there, we're going to have a severe weather threat anywhere from Arkansas up to Missouri and through southern Illinois and the Tennessee River Valley again before fizzling out again. And as the pulse comes through, and as we head into April, it quiets down. We get more April showers and intermountain snow, as you can see here, more the macro perspective I'm showing you through the models here. And then we have another system that comes, but as you notice, the snow chances are diminishing now significantly as we head toward April. More snow is in the Intermountain West, but in terms of severe weather, this is the severe weather event right here that we have here for the next 2 to 3 days. But once we get through this stretch here, March, we're pretty much done. And then, as you know, we'll be heading into tornado season for real, but that happens more in mid-April to mid-May. That's the peak of the tornado season and the chasing season here. So I just want to show you that. Now let's go back to our warnings here and just make sure that everything is okay there. We go back to our warnings here and we see that we do have a couple more warnings here that are still left. But most of them are starting to expire now. We have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings, 2 in Texas and 2 in Oklahoma, Atoka, Bryant, and Johnston counties. That's now been changed to a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's great news. This cell here is dying down. It was strong east of Ardmore, Oklahoma. Now it's dying down. It's moving toward Calera, Durant, Buchito, Boswell, Oklahoma. It's still showing some signs of rotational, but this bowing out is showing me that it's more of a straight line wind event and that the cells are starting to die down now. So that's good news. It's been changed to a severe thunderstorm warning and not a tornado warning. So we have two to three severe thunderstorm warnings here in effect. We only have the 4 tornado warnings, down in Texas right now that have been extended, but they expire. 2 expire in 12 minutes, and then 2 are over 30 minutes here for Bastrop, Fayette, and Lee County. We're gonna go to that one here. That's one of the more stronger cells here, down here to the east of Austin, about 30 minutes to an hour east of Austin here. We can see that we have a tornado warning in effect for that cell here, and so we're gonna go to that cell if we can here. So we do have that cell in effect here, but most of these cells are dying down now, as you can see from the radar. And so we're going to go to digital reflectivity here and show you some more of the cells here. So if you live along the spine of I-35 corridor here, anywhere from Waco, Temple, Texas, Southwood, you want to be on your guard because these cells are still rotating here. The tornado warning is allowed to continue here. As of 6:53 daylight time, Central Daylight Time, we have tornado and half dollar size hail. This is radar indicated rotation. Once again, these tornadoes are rain wrapped, so it can be difficult to see, but you still want to get to the lowest level of your home and the interior walls of your basement. If you have a basement, if you don't, then get to the one interior bathroom and take shelter there. As there still will be strong straight line winds in Waco, Hewitt, Bruceville, Golinda, Mart, Texas. Those areas south there of Cameron, Rockdale, Giddings, Byron. And even San Antonio area is experiencing hail up to almost an inch of hail in San Antonio. This cell here, so we don't want to forget you guys down here in San Antonio County as well, in Bexar County. Once again, Guadalupe County, southwestern Gonzales County, and central Wilson County. Severe thunderstorm warning winds. This is moving for ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So just because you don't have a tornado on the ground does not mean you can get strong wind gusts and hail out of this system here, as you can see. And this is something that we have to be very careful and watch out for here. You can see the velocity of these systems here are very strong. So a lot of people are reporting 60 and 70-mile-an-hour winds out of these storms coming through San Antonio and other areas too here. And we're going to show you the view here. We're going to see if there's any couplings here on the correlation coefficient here. And as you can see, yes, there's a lot of rotation here going on here east of Nixon, Lockdale. And these storms are rotating all the way through here, but not as strong as they were earlier. The storms out of Austin, northeast from Elgin, there's still a tornado vortex signature being reported up here northeast of Elgin. But this storm is moving very rapidly, as you can see. And so these spin-ups can happen very rapidly here. So if you're heading toward Thorndale, Texas, Rockdale, I'll be getting in my shelter. Be prepared for strong straight line winds, if not a rotational tornado here. But we're going to go back to the digital reflectivity just to show you the amount of rain. These storms are putting down a lot of rain too, and they're moving very fast northeast at 40 to 40 miles an hour. As you can see here, this is just to the northeast of Austin, Texas, Thorndale, Rockdale, Milano, heading just to the northwest of College Station. You want to take shelter as these storms continue. The tornado one does not expire until 40 minutes, but as you can see, these storms are moving rapidly through the area. And danger storm will be near Rockdale at 7:35 Central Daylight Time. You have about 35 minutes to take cover in Rockdale, Milano, and other places. So there may not be a tornado, but there may be strong straight line winds. And the tornadoes that do form are going to be rain wrapped, once again, like I said. So you want to be careful about that. But the dry line is definitely coming in. Some of these storms are ingesting a lot of dry air back here as it's clear. Back towards Lampus, Burnett, you're in the clear. Abilene, you're in the clear. These storms are weakening here, as we can tell from the super res reflectivity here, and the tornado warnings are being allowed to expire. So that's good news for Texas, good news for Oklahoma right now. But just be prepared for ping pong size hail. The highest hail total I've seen has been about 2 inches in a quarter, and that's been closer to the Texas-Oklahoma border. Once again, that was that cell that was near Ardmore, Oklahoma, that moved to the east. So we're just looking at Texas right now, and the cells in Oklahoma have weakened as well. Lawn furniture, trash cans, small twigs broken, 60-mile-an-hour winds, wind damage up here in Durant, Oklahoma being reported, and also in Ardmore, Texas. So we will continue to follow these storms throughout the night. We just want to give you a brief update of what's going on today. Once again, this is a multi-day, 3-day severe weather event from Monday to Wednesday, basically, that's going to cover the Ark-La-Tex region, Texarkana, Shreveport, Beaumont, College Station, Texas, up to Dallas Fort Worth. Moving tomorrow, the threat will be shifting over here, like I said, once again, through Shreveport, Monroe, Alexandria, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, over toward the Woodlands, Beaumont, and that area too, 49, 44 corridor, I-10 corridor, and into Mississippi as well, Jackson, Greenville, Hattiesburg, Natchez, Laurel, Holly Springs, Meridian. So that's the area that's going to be shifting tomorrow. So we'll be back with more information about that. Thank you for joining me on the Weather Guru for this update. We'll be back with more information a little bit later on. Thank you very much.